Hey guys, welcome to my next episode. I have Kevin here today. Thank you for joining me as always. Thank you for being a part of my team.
Yeah, of course.
And
2 episodes in a row.
Girl Rachel
they see my
too,
face.
right? I know. That's finally we get to put a name to this face to the voice, right? So welcome to my podcast. Today we're going to be discussing how to find the right realtor, how do you know when this is a right realtor for you? I get asked a lot, how do I know what type of realtor, or do you think that this is a good realtor? Sorry guys, but that's not my forte. However, I do work with a lot of real estate agents that I have a great relationship with, and it's super, super important to have the right realtor. Everybody has this impression sometimes the realtors just open the door, here you go, get under contract, negotiate it. That's not how it kind of works. You know, we're all a middleman in a transaction, you know. So I know you have some questions that people are probably asking.
Yeah.
So talk to me.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I know this isn't you're not a realtor,
right?
Obviously, but I think this kind of finding a good realtor is similar to finding a good mortgage broker.
Right.
So in your experience, what do you look for in a realtor?
Yeah. So even myself as being a buyer at one point, it's like, wait a second, you know, being that we work with so many real estate agents, what do I want in my realtor, you know? And the number one thing is communication, you know, communication. A lot of clients say, well, I haven't found anything yet, or I haven't, I feel like the real estate agent isn't sending me the proper listings, or they're sending me shitty homes. And it's like, that's not the case, right? For one thing, as a buyer, you want to have realistic expectations, right?
Yeah.
Properties are going left and right. So understand that the realtor's there to make a strong offer, and you have to put a strong offer, but also keep in mind that the realtor cannot go out of your discretion, cannot go unethically behind your back and put in a different offer and things like that. So you have to agree with the realtor. But number one thing is communication, right? Hey, what are you looking for? What's your budget? And do you understand? It's kind of be straightforward too. The realtor has to be straightforward. Do you understand that this is a very, very volatile market? You got to place a strong offer, you know? So communication is definitely key factor. And be honest, you know, if a realtor's straightforward with you and tells you how it is, even if it sounds kind of like aggressive, that's the one you want to deal with, you know?
Yeah. And also, you know, to your point of, you know, maybe they feel like the realtor is not setting them the best listings.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the realtor is there to make the sale.
Right.
So it's like they're showing you what's available.
Correct.
Based on your budget and based on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So like I have this one couple, and I feel, you know, they have been going left and right. They have placed offers after offers after offers. And now they do understand, and they do have realistic expectations. They have gotten better with that. But, you know, sometimes I feel like just tell your realtor what you feel. Hey, I feel that I'm not getting enough property listings, or what am I doing wrong as the buyer that I'm not finding the property I want? What are we doing wrong? Sometimes it can be that somebody placed a better offer than you did, or somebody has cash than you did. You got to be patient, but just stay in communication with your realtor. That realtor you are dating that realtor and this mortgage broker for until the day you have your keys. So you got to stay in communication. Super important.
Yeah. And I think another thing is based on where you are location wise, because South Florida is a lot more competitive with buyers than, you know, Central Florida would be. My best friend just purchased a home in Central Florida, and I remember when he was looking to purchase a home in South Florida and how long it took him to purchase and find a home that he liked and, you know, for the right price in South Florida. Yeah. And it seems like Central Florida took him a few weeks from when he started looking up there, and he found something right away. So
imagine, I'm pretty sure it was bigger than what he could probably find here.
Yeah, 100%.
And the transaction was probably much quicker than what he could probably find here as well. Yeah. It is location, communication. It is everything, expectations, you know. So a realtor, finding the right realtor is super important because they're on the front end. Once you're under contract, it's myself and the buyer. That's it. We're dating now.
Yeah.
You know, it's super, it is very critical once you're under negotiation that the realtor knows your expectations and you know how this realtor operates, you know. So it just takes time and have a great conversation and communication with your realtor.
What are some red flags you would say? Like if your real estate agent is doing this, you know, maybe find a new one.
And you put me on a tough spot. So me personally, speaking for myself, my biggest pet peeve is when nobody answers my call or answer my text messages, right? Whether
So
it's a
back to
day.
communication.
Yeah. So red flags you want to be mindful of. You may sound persistent or you may sound kind of annoying when you're telling your realtor, hey, did you put in the offer yet? No, ask them. If they say no, I'm going to wait till tomorrow or I'm going to wait till, no, that's it. I need to place an offer now and I need to know it. That at that point, you know, wait a second, this person is not hustling for me or this person is not doing what I want, then so be it.
Yeah, especially like we said in a market like South Florida where everything's so quick and competitive as far as like offers coming in. You've got to put in that offer once you want to put in that offer.
Correct.
You know, as soon as you can put in that offer, you want to be able to put it in.
Yeah.
And that way you don't go put it in tomorrow and they say, oh, no, we already accepted an offer last night.
Right. Yeah. Then there goes that listing, right? And then they say, oh, well, it goes both ways too. If the realtor places an offer right away and sends you something to sign, you got to sign it right away. Oh, no, I'll wait till tomorrow. No, sign it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know, you're not under contract until you're under contract, you know? Right. So yeah, definitely.
What should people be looking out for in terms of the experience with a realtor, you know, making sure the properties are being researched properly, things like that? How would somebody know that they're getting the best out of their realtor?
So
I guess, okay, so would you recommend maybe working with multiple realtors and seeing, or can you even do that? Are you able to work with multiple real estate agents?
You can, but is it ethical? No, it's not, because it's wrong. You know, here comes this realtor driving around for you all this time and you go and turn their back. I'd be pissed off. Like, screw you. You know what I mean? Like, I spend my whole time with you and then you go trade me for somebody else. And that's happened a lot. That still happens a lot. You know, you go around like, oh, by the way, I'm so sorry. We used another realtor. You did what?
Right.
You know? Right. So that happens a lot. And like I say, it's that person, that realtor, and you are best friends. You are dating each other until the day you get your keys. So you have to make the best out of it. Stay in communication. Hey, Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, I don't like this property. Is there something wrong? Should we increase our budget? Should we do this? Should we do that? Ask questions. Don't be intimidated. And then ask around too. It's super important.
Yeah. So just the biggest thing really.
Talk, communicate. It applies for your mortgage broker. Applies to anybody. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Mortgage Broker, I heard this, and this. Don't just go and shut us down and go over there. No. Stay in communication, you know.
And you also have to make sure that they're ready to negotiate for you as well.
Yes.
Because you can't have a pushover as a realtor either.
Correct. Yeah, you don't want to have a pushover. You don't want to just settle for less neither. Once you're under contract, remember, you have the leverage, right? You can always renegotiate an inspection, ask for a credit. You can always go ahead and renegotiate once an appraisal is done. There's still a process that has to be done. And negotiation there's always room for negotiation once you're under contract. And your realtor has to be ready to fight for that.
Who sets up inspection?
So typically, once you're under contract, you have a certain time frame that the sellers agree. Say, hey, listen, I'm going to give you 7 days for you to do inspection on the property. Typically, the realtor will go ahead and set the buyer up with an inspector. They usually take care of that. Now, inspection is always there for insurance purposes. The lender does not need that unless, God forbid, there are certain other issues. But lenders don't look at that. That is only for insurance purposes and for your purpose. Also, you want to make sure there's no mold. Again, goes to the same thing. once you're under contract, and then once you do inspection, if there is an issue with the property, that's when your realtor will say, hey, Mr. Seller's realtor, there is an issue with this. Do you want to give us a credit, or do you want to go ahead and fix the issue? And that's when your realtor comes in and needs to be that shark.
Okay. And what about appraisal? Does the realtor set up the appraisal as well, or is that through?
The bank sets that up.
Okay.
That is a whole different appraisers, loan officers, and mortgage brokers cannot have a conflict
Conflict of interest.
Correct.
Right?
So the bank sets that up. The bank communicates, the appraiser communicates with the selling agent, and they set that up. Once a report comes in, that's when we go ahead and evaluate that.
Okay. Where is the best place to find a realtor? There's so many of them now, I feel.
I know. There's so many. They're a dime a dozen. They're redundant. And then it's like everybody's a realtor, right? So it's like, oh, yeah. Okay. My advice there is if you are in process of pre-approval, get pre-approved first and ask your loan officer, hey, can you connect me with a real estate agent that you have worked with? If you happen to have a family member, somebody that you feel like you really trust, yes, go for it. But always ask your loan officer or your mortgage representative, because they're the ones who've kind of worked with that realtor multiple times.
Yeah, they work hand in hand with
Correct. And a loan officer is not going to just put you with a crappy real estate agent either, you know? Yeah. So it's their reputation. So I think asking around is definitely helpful. Ask your mortgage representative, ask a business partner you may have, or something like that.
Okay. And just, I feel like I have a lot of examples all the time.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
don't do this, but I have a lot of examples.
That's good.
Just quickly talking about the credit as far as inspections go. Same thing. My best friend just purchased a home in Orlando or Winter Haven, and they credited him for the roof.
There you go.
So they gave him a seller's credit for the roof.
See?
And they had some other issues going on with closing that I guess they maxed out on the credit.
Wow. That was a huge chunk of credit then.
Yeah. So they maxed out on the credit with the roof. And so they had to like cut him a check at the end or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what happens. So on a sale, you're only allowed up to 6% of seller's credit.
Okay. That's
okay. That means that he probably could have, he had a huge chunk of closing costs that one. He probably paid for nothing, probably at the end, come down to it. So that's beneficial. That's where the realtor has to fight for it. Hey, give me that credit. I need that credit. My buyer has gone through this and that. You know, remember, the realtor has to be ready to fight it. You're dating that person.
Yeah.
You know, they have to be ready to negotiate it. So super important to look for that and just stay in communication. If there's something you don't like about them, talk about it. Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry, I don't like this, and that. And then if the realtor has their guard up, that's it. You know that that's not the person you want to deal with.
I was just going to say, I think another thing when dealing with a realtor is knowing that it's somebody you can have a tough conversation with. And they're not going to take it personally, or they're going to take what you said and, you know, try to do their best to fix it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So there you go, right? You have to be able to communicate with your partner, right?
Yeah.
This is a huge step, whether it's first time home buyers. You're not just going to sign for a car. You're not just going to sign for a TV or something, right? This is a home that you're wanting to build your future in, you know? It's super important to just stay in touch with them and let them know how you feel.
Yeah. And I think also if the realtor is a friend of yours, especially a close friend, you have to be able to separate the friendship from the business, because you're buying a home.
Yep.
And it's, you know, the biggest purchase that you can probably make in your lifetime is buying a home.
Yep.
So that person, as your friend and now your real estate agent, has to know when we're talking about their home,
it's business.
I'm their real estate agent. I'm not their friend.
Yeah.
So I think.
And that goes to the slogan that I always say, never do business with family or friends, right? They say, yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes it works out. I do all my friends' mortgages. I do everybody's. And it works out. And that's when we know we have boundaries and we respect each other's profession. And we keep it just to that level of communication. Hey, Sonny, I don't like this, this, and this. All that type of stuff, you know?
Right.
So it's super important.
Yeah, that's I know it was a short episode today, but that's
it's good to talk about these things. I know. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you. If you have any questions, as I always say, go ahead, click the link on the bio and send me a DM if you have some questions you'd like for me to answer. Kevin, thank you so much for joining me as always.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, always, always. Until next time, have a great day.